So what is going on, you beautiful people? Welcome back to a brand new video, and yes, what you're seeing on the screen is DUNE Awakening. Now, I got invited by DUNE Awakening Funcom themselves to go and try out the preview build of DUNE Awakening. Now, I was allowed to play up to the first 25 hours of gameplay, however I did not play that much of it, and there's a reason for that. It's because I didn't want to actually spoil it for myself and the community. I really want to get my hands on this game and dive deep and play loads of it with the community, but I want to discover it together. I want to find out everything together, and I want to literally build a clan, build a base, and just have that same first feeling, new motions and enjoyment, all as one giant unit that we are, Death Squad. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you the first part of the game. I'm going to be showing you just a little bit of combat, a little bit of building, and what a sandstorm looks like. I know it's a bit weird, but the sandstorms really caught me off guard and they looked flipping wonderful. But before we go over that, what is DUNE Awakening? Well, DUNE Awakening is an open world multiplayer survival game on a massive scale, and I mean massive. This game is flipping huge and it's endless. Now, what do I mean by endless? This game has got a deep desert, and this deep desert, which we didn't get to try, we only got to try the Hagen Basin, which is the starter part of the game. The deep desert is a 500 square kilometer sized area that changes every single week. It has a giant sandstorm that completely wipes out the desert and uncovers new areas and hides previous areas that were once there. So it's an endless experience in the deep desert. Now, more than just a survival, DUNE Awakening offers a large-scale, persistent and highly immersive world with social hubs bustling with other players. It's got server-wide politics and a cinematic storyline that will leave you at the edge of your seat. So the Fremen have vanished, Paul Atreides was never born, Lady Jessica obeyed the Bene Gesserit and gave birth to a girl. Duke Leto Atreides survived the assault on Arcanum and is now locked in a brutal conflict with the Harkonnen over Arrakis and its precious spice. In this unique but still familiar take on the iconic sci-fi universe of Dune, you begin as a prisoner sent to Arrakis to uncover the mystery of the Fremen's disappearance. Following in its footsteps of the mysterious desert tribe, you will learn the true meaning of desert power, and you rise from a nameless survivor to becoming an agent of the Atreides or the Harkonnen. So remember, you can do this alone, with friends, or any of the hundreds of players that you will find in Arrakis. Now, it's meant to be hard, and they do state, can you survive the most dangerous planet in the universe? Well, I know that I'm definitely not going to be doing this solo, because us as a Death Squad, if you want to join in on the Death Squad, the link is in the description down below. We're going to be playing this and running this desert together, and this is the exact reason why I didn't want to spoil anything for myself and for others, because there is dungeons in this game. There is so much content we've got to go through, and even the likes that was mentioned before, that there is a full story, cinematic story in this game, and I don't want to spoil it for anyone. Yes, we are seeing the first cinematic part of the game, but that is simply the intro. I want to go through this with everyone, release content with everyone, where we're all going ahead and doing it and potentially gathering spice together and much, much more. So, what is the survive the vast open world of DUNE, or what does that mean? Well, survive by learning the ways of the Fremen, seek the shadows to escape the scorching sun, craft steel suits and extract water from your enemies to stay hydrated, build shelter to escape lethal sandstorms, and always be aware the sandworm. Explore a vast open world of beauty and danger, glide, climb and speed across Arrakis using iconic Dune tech such as ornithopters and suspensor belts. Visit the hubs of Arrakis in Harko village, bustling with other players to socialise and trade with. So yes, in this game there is going to be a trading mechanic, so even if you don't want to go into the PvP areas where you might get certain loots, by doing certain things in this game in the non-PvP areas, you'll be able to trade that equipment with the PvPers, because what you're getting is just as important as what they are getting. Then you can discover a shifting desert that offers infinite exploration, literally like I mentioned before, and because I don't know how to pronounce this word, the Coriolis storm reshaped the deep desert, so turning familiar ground into a treacherous unknown territory every single week. Players race to be the first to uncover new locations, dangers and rewards. So this is why it's probably going to be best to join a very large clan, because if you want to get ahead of the curve and you want to have your best opportunities available for you in this game, when that desert changes, I am sure we're going to have many of scouts heading out in their ornithopters, their bikes, you name it, to go and discover all of the rewards that we can find in the desert before the other clans. So upon doing this, you're going to master the true desert power. Sandbox combat allows you to approach every situation differently using a wide arsenal of ranged and melee weapons, technology, abilities, and even vehicles. From humble beginnings to unthinkable strength, every step fuels your rise to greatness. So master one of all the great schools of Imperium, considerate, Trooper, Mentat, Swordmaster, and Planetologist. Use manipulation and trickery, poison and grenades, dart rifles, and crisp knives. And remember, the slow blade penetrates the shield. So spice is the most valuable resource in the universe. Control, trade, and consume it to unshackle your potential and fuel new powers. We can rise from a nameless survivor to ultimately summoning the desert's greatest force, the sandworm Shai Halud himself. That is flipping awesome just by having the power. So we can forge your legend, build your Dune. So create a persona as unique as your ambitions, craft anything from the Freeman's steel suits to Harkonnen ornithopters, and find Atreides furniture, customize endless emotes, transmog systems, and swatches that let you stand out in the desert. So with that, we're going to forge our legend and build your Dune. So create a persona as unique as your ambitions, craft anything from Fremen steel suits to Harkonnen ornithopters and fine Atreides furnitures, customize endlessly with emotes, transmog systems, and swatches to let you stand out in the desert. Uncover the truth behind the Fremen's disappearance as you survive, explore, and build your way to power on Arrakis. You unravel an engaging storyline like anything seen in a multiplayer survival game before. So we can build anything from a temporary encampment to an impenetrable fortress with a robust, flexible building system. Convert your buildings into blueprints that you can then sell to other players server-wide exchange, along with anything you harvest and produce. Now remember, you don't have to survive alone, so we can unite or compete with other survivors or choose to play alone. DUNE Awakening features a highly immersive and persistent online world shared with thousands of other characters and several hundred people playing concurrently. PvP is always optional. We can group up with other players to delve into ancient ecology labs, collaborate creatively using the robust co-op building system, or simply visit the Harkonnen and Harko village social hubs to grab a drink or trade on the exchange. So with that, you can either lead or follow, the choice is yours. Join or create a guild, swear allegiance to the Atreides or the Harkonnen, and work together to secure their power in the server-wide Landsrad, whose decrees impact every player on the server. So to end it, claim your place in the rise to power. Rise to power through the ranks of the Atreides or the Harkonnen as you build reputation in the Great House. You will have access to unique faction rewards such as equipment, vehicles, and building pieces. Ultimately, you can pledge your entire guild to their cause. So remember, control the spice and you control Arrakis. The ever-shifting sands of the deep desert offers not only infinite exploration, but also infinite rewards. Here players, guilds, and great houses battle over massive spice blows to fuel their finances and their ambitions. Now remember, PvP is always optional, so you can participate in major ground and air battles in the deep desert, or you can simply support the efforts from behind the front lines through PvE activities like crafting to secure power in the Landsrad, or you can even play politics and make decisions that will impact the whole server. This game is going to be flipping epic, Death Squad, and if you haven't pre-ordered it, I would recommend you going ahead and doing so if you want to come and play with us, because as of day one, I am going to be in there and I'm going to be releasing endless content on this game, because apparently it's got infinite endgame. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Like, follow, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
The guards have sealed themselves inside. Search the prisoners for a cut array. And off-worlder, be careful.
Okay, so there's the cut array. Now what do we do with it? Right, we go back to this rock, let's analyse it. Interesting. And then we just cut along the line. It wasn't so accurate, but let's go and do the next one. Wait, yeah. Scan, cut. Brilliant.
The captain's room is blocked by a pentashield.
Which way to go? Wait, we can't go through that?
See if there's another way forward.
What's going on here then? You scan the door? Oh yeah, look. I mean, that's a pretty cool mechanic, right? That means we can be doing more of this later on in the game.
Raise your weapon, off-worlder. The guards won't hesitate. Neither should you.
Okay, so the sword plate is a lot like the swordplay in Conan Exiles, which is a very familiar system for myself.
Parry your opponents just as their strikes will hit you. This should stagger them, giving you a window of opportunity.
Just a little bit more in depth.
Access granted.
Okay, I'll take those. So we can dash to get out of a staggering state. Okay, so we got electrocuted. It's nice. Oh yes, drink. Wait, can we drink more? Okay, we'll drink that, and we'll drink that. Okay, we've got over half hydration. That's good. Oh. So the slow blade attack, so we can go through their shield.
But only a slow blade penetrates a shield.
So we need to stun them first before we do this. Perfect.
Access granted.
That's the pentashield key. Once you equip it, you can pass through the
wristband
shield.
key.
Get to the captain.
Oh right, having that wristband key means we can just go through the shields. Oh, that was cool.
We only need the leader.
I hear I'm a wanted man.
Oi! Utland scum! I vitsjo man tukta lasto brev ada hung unvalo arsund. De dia abada.
I know. That's why I brought you here.
Stitch.
The Thopter will have the codes to get us through the barrier. Ever fly an Ornithopter? It's simple enough. But my leg is bad and I won't be able to work the pedals. Get ready. They'll be on us as soon as we break through. There's too many! Turn us into the storm! They won't follow.
Run. The sandworm is coming. Run. Now!
Yeah, looks like it's time to go check out this house. See if we can get in it and get some cover. Okay, this is interesting. Is this a player-built house? No access. So this is the research system where you can basically come in here, highlight over everything, find out what you want, and with the points that you've gathered through doing stuff throughout the world, we can go ahead and research certain things. Now, eventually you should be able to research everything, but this is what we're going to research for now. And sit back and relax. This is me taking on my first fort. Or trying to, at least. The combat is quite difficult, but yet again, I'm not a PC player, I'm a console player. I am going to be obviously playing this on PC to start off with because it's only going to release on PC, but when it does come to console, you bet I'll be going back over to console, because I did even play Conan Exiles on console, and the game looks phenomenal, by the way. I'm on a 4070 Super graphics card, and I think it looks great. There has been a couple of frame drops, but I'm not hiding anything from you guys. You can see literally at the top of the screen, my frames are always floating around the 130 mark. Now, granted, I do have Streamlabs OBS open at the same time, so my frames should be a lot better than what you're seeing, but because I've got the recording software open, that's probably where I'm getting my slight dips.
Identify yourself. Shield on. Go there.
So yet again, moving over to here, we can see we've got another research tab where as we're leveling up, we're unlocking more that we can potentially research. So the likes of the surveying kit, we can see different armors, etc. in here as well. So there's quite a lot of depth to the researching, but it still is very similar to what you'd expect from a survival game, but they don't want to change it too much because the more they change it, the harder it becomes. And as it goes along, you can see how many empty slots they've got as it goes along the game. There will be a lot more you can go ahead and learn to research and then potentially craft. Now, you shouldn't be able to craft everything straight away. You still need to go out into the desert and find stuff, and here we are as well taking a look at the skill tree. So I've picked Sword Master, but we can see at the top there is several or 5 tabs that we can choose, and inside of the tabs there's multiple different ways you can go down the path. So we got the way, the wheel, the blade. These all relate to the techniques and abilities you can get from each craft, so from the Sword Master, the Mentat, etc. So yeah, a really cool in-depth system. So another thing that I found was pretty cool is you can customize literally everything. These are the swatches you would get from the pre-order bonuses. So these are the colors that you get from that, and you can basically go around and change all or every single piece of your armor, your weapons to the color you want. Now, it does only change limited things on the sets that you've got, but I believe once we get different sets, we'll be able to change them even more, and the more swatches we get, the more we can customize. We can see also at the top there, when we are clicking on the likes of the swatches, that there is a tab that does say variants, and the variants themselves probably meaning you're going to be able to change the overall look or style of that armor that you've got on. Now, this is probably where I spent most of my time in the short time that I did play the game, is crafting, because if any of you know me from the Conan Exile days, I used to love making builds, and from any game that I've played, the arcs and that, I spent ages making builds. You can see you can put multiple levels, you can change all the different elements on the roof, you have all of these different things that you can do, the inclines, the specials, the wedge walls, the structurals, and it goes off the same principles as Conan. So you can't just build anything to any height, you need to have support pillars down. It all goes off of how well it does, and yet again, by just going around the world and just looting all the rocks that you see is where you'll get materials to make certain buildings. I believe later on with the likes of Conan, you'll be getting other materials to build even more in-depth buildings. And then this next part is actually my favorite thing, so listen out for this.
Sector weather alert. A large sandstorm is approaching.
Now, I did say it was my favourite thing, but that is because it is the only thing that I've really got into in this game, and I think Sandstorms are absolutely beautiful. I think there's going to be things that are way more beautiful than a sandstorm, and I reckon Sandstorm's going to be pretty annoying. But also, just looking at this part, the gunplay in the game was really good, really intriguing. I actually really liked it, and just skills work. It was very clean, very effective, and as you can see, by doing certain things in the game, you get story. So I'm going to leave it here. This is going to end. Death Squad, you're the best. Can't wait to play Dune. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments down below. What you think of the game so far with what you've seen.
Observe this valley, sacred to the Equan Bedouin. Here, Wally faced the trials of Akul, proving their knowledge of the Fremen ways. Find the Fremen, she said. Seven tests, 7 steps. Set your feet. Follow the uncertain path. Keep moving. The only true death is stagnation.